What's up, everybody? My name is Josh Yoder, and this is the Joshua Yoder Show. Today, I'm here to celebrate with some of my friends. We're going to talk about 25 years since the debut of the original Xbox. And joining me in this episode is longtime friends, starting off with Mr. SheetGearhead. What's up, Sheet?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, man, thank you so much for coming on, and thanks for coming back.
No problem.
And also, I have another guest here with me. First time being on the show, longtime gamer and fan of the Xbox. Welcome to the show, Presto. What's up, Presto?
What up? What up?
Oh man, thank you guys so much for coming on and celebrate 25 years since the original Xbox.
No problem.
No problem.
Yeah, man. So can you guys believe? I mean, it's not official till at least here in America till November since the debut of the Xbox. But can you guys believe it's been 25 years?
Yeah,
Oh.
time flies.
Yep.
I mean, holy moly! 2001 seems to gone by quick, don't it?
Yeah.
But I want to get started talking about the history of the Xbox here. The first time I ever heard of it was on a TV channel called ZDTV. So I was, and now most people know it as G4. But when I first heard about the Xbox, people were like in the industry were saying about how big of an impact it was already, and it hadn't even launched yet. So starting with you, Presto, when was the first time you heard about the Xbox?
And I was teenager.
What was your first impressions of it, bud?
Actually, I was before Xbox. There was a PlayStation guy, and then got the Xbox, and I really liked it. Like they had better game, better graphics, and they usually when they came to the game and stuff, they knew what they were doing.
How about you, Sheet?
I mean, I liked it. My first game I played on there was Jade Empire. I used to go over to my big brother's house all the time just so I could go play it.
I love that game. That's one of my personal favorites. But,
Yeah.
but I also want to talk about the significance of what this was because at the time, this was the first major American-produced gaming console since the Atari Jaguar back in 1993.
Oh, really?
So that
That
was nearly 10 years before we had the Xbox came back out for in there. So that's crazy to think. Of course, I never played the Jaguar, and not a lot of people have high praise for it.
Yeah, I never played it myself. I think my older brother had one, but
Yeah, no, and honestly, I got to give a lot of credit to the launch title. And honestly, I would dare say if it wasn't for this gaming series, the Xbox may not be as big as it is. But one of the biggest launch titles ever in history, and it shattered records, was the original Halo. You guys played?
Yeah. I used to play that a lot with my brothers and get my ass kicked.
Yeah, what did you say you liked about it, Presto?
I like the gameplay, and I like it was mostly first person, which I'm used to. Other game like Call of Duty and stuff. I like the fact that it was more futuristic and the graphics, and it was a pretty fun game to play. Not when you're losing, getting your butt kicked, but
Yeah, no,
And I like the weapons. I like the weapon. I really like the weapon.
Yeah, how about you, Sheet? What is your impressions of the original Halo?
I never played it.
You never got to play it?
No, I never played it. Back in the day, a lot of first person games made me feel really sick, so I couldn't really play it without like feeling sick.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, me personally, I'm a big sci-fi nerd to begin with, so seeing like a cool futuristic shooter like Halo was, and plus also me being a writer, I love the story behind, Halo and the mysterious rings and all, and of course, like what Presto said, the gameplay was fun, and I loved the story of it, and just and also just the concept of the Covenant and the idea of super soldiers. And man, I thought Halo did an amazing job bringing the Xbox to the forefront. Which actually, guys, I wanted to ask you guys both a question.
Sure.
Starting with you, Sheet, what was the most popular seller game in Xbox during its original run? Can you guess?
I would assume it was Halo, to be honest with you.
What about you, Presto? Who do you think it was?
That's a tough one. That is a tough question because I see mostly people play like story mode games or sports games on it. For me, I liked it, The Matrix. The only Matrix game that Xbox ever made.
That was a fun game and a fun movie. But actually, Sheet was close. It was actually Halo 2 that had, in the original Xbox run, that had the most. 8.5 million.
That's a lot of
That doesn't
copies.
surprise me.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me. It's a multiplayer fighting game. So
Oh yeah, let's talk a little bit about the multiplayer. That was what made the Xbox so popular too. Was obviously it was built by a PC company, so they had the online stuff on lockdown with some of their games playing on there.
Oh yeah.
But starting with you, Sheet, what were some of the other Xbox games that you enjoyed playing?
Honestly, the only thing I really played was Jade Empire because my older brother had it because I didn't own an Xbox myself. Um, there was a couple other games he had. I think it was like Prince of Persia, but I never finished it.
Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about Jade Empire because I just actually rebeat the game already. I love that game so much. I've always been a huge fan of martial arts, so the concept of it was so cool, and I love the whole morality choice. Which, to be honest with you, especially back in the original Xbox games, you had a lot of games like that, like Jade Empire, Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, and also Fable, where you could make choices that could affect the game, whether it be good or bad.
Oh yeah.
How about you, Presto? What were some of the games other than Halo on the Xbox that you enjoy playing?
on the original one,
Yeah, on the original one.
The Matrix not really much, and I don't remember all the games from the original one.
Well, I'll grab myself a list on here. Do you guys see if you guys remember some of these names? There was I don't know if it was a popular game, but you guys remember 50 Cent Bulletproof?
Yeah, I remember that. It was so good, but so bad at the same time.
When I saw that they had that game made, I mean, I didn't mind 50 Cent, but I was like, okay. Another one of my personal favorite games. You guys remember Aggressive Inline? It was basically Tony Hawk, but for rollerbladers.
Never heard of that
I
one.
remember that. That one I remember that. They wanted to try rollerblading because rollerblading back then was getting just as popular as skateboarding.
Yeah, man, and I enjoyed the Tony Hawk games as well. I mean, holy moly, those games were so much fun to play as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, here's some other ones. Do you guys remember? Oh, geez, they had the arena football, not just Madden, but do you guys remember playing arena football?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds familiar. It does sound familiar. It's not the one where the fire comes out of their feet, right?
No. That was that would have been NFL Blitz.
Yeah, I remember NFL Blitz.
Yeah,
I remember arena football because it was inside and they only got 50 yards in the whole game.
and you can
Isn't
knock.
that what Kurt Warner came?
Oh yeah, that's where Kurt Warner came from. And I will say, oh geez, I remember the backyard wrestling games. He had 1 and 2 come out on the original Xbox.
Oh yeah, that's a throwback. I remember that game.
Oh geez. Oh, that's right. I forgot they have a couple of Batman games like Batman Begins, Batman Dark Tomorrow, and Batman Rise of Sin to You.
I never knew that.
Oh, you never played any of the Batman games?
No.
Oh, geez. Talk about first-person shooters. This one was a pretty intense one. Do you guys remember playing Black?
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, geez, that game was intense. I mean, I know you weren't too much on the first-person shooters because it makes you sick, but that probably didn't help you either.
Yeah,
Finish
I
out. That was
remember
a good
playing
game.
it sometimes maybe in after an hour, I would feel like, okay, I gotta get off this thing. And my brother was like, "Why you stopping?" I said, "Because I feel sick." So then he would
Yeah.
go on his profile and he would play his.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But do you guys remember another game here I found? Speaking of sports games, remember Blitz the League?
No, not for me. I don't remember that one.
Oh, that was the one where you guys had to play football and you guys had these injuries, and you're like, if you get hurt really bad, but you can just pump steroids in them. It's basically like the longest yard. It was ridiculous. It was like football
And
meets Mortal Kombat.
you know what's great about those times? They didn't have a problem experimenting with crazy ideas back then. You know, and that's what made a lot of those games enjoyable. Like it was outlandish, but they were so fun because they were outlandish.
Yeah, no,
Yep. They did what they wanted to do, not what people cried about.
well, unfortunately, because and then that's another thing too. I noticed there was a lot of games here on the Xbox I remember playing, and there was more talk about different games that were coming out back in those days too. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, there was a lot of different games that kind of piqued my interest, and I'm trying to remember if I'm remembering this right. But wasn't Dead or Alive one of those games too?
Yes, Dead or Alive was in one of those games. Actually, they
Yeah,
had a couple games on the original Xbox.
yeah, because I remember my brother used to play that with his buddy Drew, and they used to go at it.
Oh, there were some good ones on. There was definitely some good games on the Xbox on that regard. Another one I liked playing was they had Blood Rain on the game. They had Blood Rain 1 and 2 on the Xbox, and those were a lot of fun games to play as well.
I never played them, but I knew about them.
How about you, Presto?
Mhm. Like Splinter Cell was pretty fun to play on there. In Def Jam,
Oh
the
yeah, I
Celebrity
remember
Def
that
Jam.
too, Def Jam.
Oh, that's right, Def Jam. I haven't played that in a long time. Well, how many were there that came out? I know Def Jam New York. How many of them
There
came
were a
out?
lot. There were a lot. I think they were like, hmm,
I
it's
don't
like
know, but I do
on the
remember
original
that.
Xbox. On the original Xbox, I think there were like 3 or 4, and I think they made one more for like the Xbox 360, and then they stopped making them.
Yeah, and another fun game, and I haven't seen this series in a long time, but do you guys remember playing Burnout? That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. I remember playing that. The last Burnout I remember playing was Burnout Paradise, but that was 360 era, but still fun game.
Yeah, and I was like, just the whole concept of that game was a lot of fun playing. Like, you're going at a high rate of speed, and the whole point is you're supposed to crash in order to make enough money for the insurance. That's all it was. And they even
Yeah.
had racing modes where you can race with your friends and you can smash into each other and make each other wreck.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of raging for that.
Oh, I can believe it. And actually another and Presto, you kind of alluded to it earlier, but there was a lot of good Call of Duty games on there as well.
It was mostly on the 360.
Wasn't
They
there
had,
True
they had
Crime
Black
New
Ops.
York City?
What was that sheet?
Wasn't there True Crimes New York City?
Hmm. Uh, I'll have to look on that real quick, but there was also one of my favorite was the Big Red One for Call of Duty. That was a lot of fun game for me to play as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think 2 was
Oh,
everyone's favorite, and
let me.
mostly because of the zombies.
Oh, that definitely is a popular part of the Call of Duty series. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yes, you were right. Sheet. There was a true Streets of LA and New York.
I thought so because I remember playing New York City.
Isn't that the one where you could be Snoop Dogg?
No, you play as this black cop. He's going undercover to stop these different syndicates.
Oh, okay. No, I know that, but I felt like there was supposed to be like some cheat code or something you could have put in. You could be Snoop Dogg or something.
You probably could, to be honest with you.
I'm I'm trying to remember, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But oh, oh yeah, they definitely have the Tony Hawk's games. Oh man, I don't know if you guys ever played Splinter Cell. That was a fun game to play on the original
Yeah,
Xbox.
that's the one game I mentioned, Splinter Cell.
Yeah, how many of the Splinters? I played almost all of them on the original Xbox.
2,
I like.
3.
I think there was like 3. Actually, no, there was 4. There was the original Chaos Theory, Double Agent, and Pandora Tomorrow. I loved Pandora Tomorrow. That was a fun one.
That's when I played with the Double Agent.
That was a pretty good one. I gotta say though, Sam Fisher and Splinter Cell were a lot of fun, and I wouldn't say they were as good as Metal Gear, but man, I thought Splinter Cell was good enough to give it a run for its money.
Oh yeah, definitely good.
I mean, Tom Clancy had a lot of games on this system. He had Ghost Recon and Rainbow Six as well. Splinter Cell.
I enjoyed Rainbow Six, but like I told you before, I had to play it in moderation.
Yeah, which that had to suck because you're like, wow, this game's a lot of fun. Oh, I gotta take a break.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it was. I get into it, and then like when my body say, "Okay, yo, you got to get off this thing," it's like, all right.
Oh man, Tenchu! I forgot Tenchu. Return from Darkness was on the Xbox. That game was fun.
I never played it on the Xbox, but I remember playing it on the PlayStation.
Oh, Tenchu is an underrated game in my humble opinion. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah, I enjoyed
I never
Tenchu.
played it.
You never played Tenchu? That was a great game,
No.
bud.
Oh yeah, Tenchu was fun, dude. That was one of them games where it was just ahead of its time, and it just didn't get to everybody like it should have.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. I mean, I know another game, Star Wars: The Knights of the Old Republic series 1 and 2 were a lot of fun for me to play. And it was probably like one of my favorite things from my generation of Star Wars that came out. Those games were a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, there was a lot of Star Wars games, like Battlefront 1 and 2 came out on the original Xbox. Oh, those were a lot of fun to play.
See, I didn't even know that, to be honest with you.
Did I?
Yeah, no, man, like, it's kind of like what we talked about, off camera a little bit. There were a ton of great games on this system where, not to get too much into it because I want to talk about the original Xbox, but it just seems like you don't see too many games people get hyped for anymore.
True. That is true. And speaking of 25 years of Xbox, they just recently made the new Xbox, the Series X. They made a console that looks like the original Xbox, the 25-year edition.
Oh, geez. I bet.
It's see through, and you can see all the parts. It looks really cool.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. Like, because to me, the reason why I chose the Xbox, I mean, I played the PS2 and the GameCube as well, and I enjoyed them all as well. But we originally got the Xbox first, and a lot of it was because a lot of the games that I enjoyed playing were from the Sega era and like the Dreamcast. So a lot of games that I played on Dreamcast moved over to the Xbox, and I was like, well, I guess I'll just go over here.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. I enjoyed you guys ever played The Sims? I love playing that game.
Oh, yeah.
I have not, but I watched my cousin play.
Dude, The Sims is a lot of fun because it basically teaches you about life, but honestly, you feel like you can be yourself without feeling judged.
Yeah, you could build your world the way you want to live it.
Oh, geez. Do you guys ever played The Simpsons Hit and Run or Road Rage?
I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
that. We used to
Yeah,
play
the Simpsons was
It
a fun game to play.
was hilarious. And honestly, it felt like we were in like a real life Simpsons episode.
Yeah, and Crazy Taxi.
Oh, yes, I remember Crazy Taxi because that was one of the games that came from the Dreamcast. I played that, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, throwbacks to our childhoods.
Yes.
25 years of freaking Xbox. That's crazy.
No, it is, man, because I remember, like I said, being a little kid, like this was like going right into the 2000s where we all thought, like we saw in sci-fi movies, and the Xbox was a big reason for it. A lot of people thought, wow, we're heading in this direction, not just in video games, but in real life, It was
Yeah.
it was an interesting time for us, that's for sure.
One thing I could definitely say about Xbox, even to now, I've always liked their controllers compared to like other controllers because it's like they put the thumb grips right where your thumbs need to be.
Yeah, let's talk about that, the controllers for a minute, because I remember when we got the original controller, I thought I was holding on to a watermelon.
Yeah,
Thing was
it
big.
did feel like holding on to a dinner plate, but at least the thumbs were in the right place.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad controller even with that, but they got better ones as it went on. But the original one, I was kind of like, okay.
One thing I like about the original controllers that they had, like they made some original controllers where they had a place to put your memory card, so you don't got to go on the system and you know reach back and touch wires and do that just to get the memory card. You can just boop, right out of the controller.
Yeah, didn't the original controllers like have like those two like little slots you can just put your memory card in, hook onto it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those like that. Of course, most kids nowadays probably will be like, "What are you guys talking about memory cards?" I'm like, "Trust me, you're better off having the hardwire because back then we had to have that. And then if we have to get like, wait, how comes we don't have this saved? Like, oh, we got to switch memory cards into the controller.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pain
But
in the
back
butt.
then, memory cards are easy to come by too. They weren't super expensive. Like you could get a 2-pack for like $20 and you'd be set.
Yeah, no, that is true. And actually, a series made its debut on this system as well. Red Dead Revolver. Remember playing that game?
Never played it. I heard about it, but I personally never played it.
Oh, because I know Red Dead Redemption was some of our favorite games to play and
Oh
all
yeah.
that. How about you, Preston? Did you ever play Red Dead Revolver?
No, I haven't heard of Red Dead until like very recently. I never
Yeah,
really played it. Like I've seen other people play it, but I never played it.
yeah, man. And I mean, oh, and there were some really mature, violent games on this system as well. Do you guys remember The Punisher?
I remember the Punisher.
Oh, holy moly, the things. It's a good thing they have the rating system that they did.
Oh, that reminds me, you want to talk about ratings. Does anybody else remember that one old game from way back when? For the I think it was on the Xbox as well, but it was not for kids, BMX Triple X. That game was
Oh,
cool.
Oh yeah.
I never played it because I just was like, I just thought it looked stupid. But I was like, eh,
Hey, that's a game you had to play at nighttime when nobody saw you play it.
oh jeez.
No, that game was not for kids. I remember when my neighbor, he was younger than me, and he was like, "Hey, I want to play this new game with me." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, let's play." And without getting too graphic, you had to go around doing tricks, and doing the tricks around the whole city, that was fun. And then like there was a pimp, and he had a dog, and he had to do tricks to get the dog to for the male dog in the park without saying too much. And then once you did that, what happened, and you went about your business.
Yeah, that definitely should not have been allowed to be around kids. And to be honest with you, and rightfully so, it was voted one of the worst games ever.
To be honest, though, it was a fun game. It was underrated, not for kids, 100% not for kids, but it was fun. And they kind of went out of the box compared to a whole lot of other games.
Speaking of going outside of the box, do you remember playing any of the outlaw sports games like outlaw golf, outlaw volleyball?
I remember playing both of those for a little bit.
Oh, the outlandishness of it.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I remember like you miss a putt, right, in Outlaw Golf, and the characters just get mad and they randomly beat up their caddies. It's like, okay, that's different.
Well, I mean, it did display the frustration sometimes, especially when you know you should have had it, and it's just like, nope.
Oh, you guys remember Ninja Gaiden?
Yeah, that game, man. Don't even get me started on that game.
Oh, come on, that game was awesome. I love that game. I love the story of it, the whole Black Dragon Blade that you had to find and stuff. That game was a lot of fun, but I will say though, even on easy mode, that game will punish you if you're not
That
focused.
game was hard, no matter what mode you had it on.
Yeah. You had to be ready. You had to be like a true ninja warrior in order to master that game.
Yeah, I still didn't beat that game.
Oh, really?
No, it was so hard. I got frustrated with it.
Well, understandable, but I just love the whole just the concept and the story of it. And Ryo Hayabusa is an amazing character.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And we kind of alluded to it earlier too, but another thing, especially when they introduced Xbox Live, remember all the sports titles we would play and all that? Oh my goodness.
I didn't play the original Xbox Online. Most of the stuff I played was like the story stuff.
Yeah. But I will say though, the sports games were big, especially once they introduced Xbox Lives. But what were some of the sports games you guys remember playing?
I really didn't play the sports games, to be honest with you. The sports games like
NBA and the Madden,
Oh yes, Madden was a big back then.
and a little bit of baseball.
No, I played a lot of baseball, basketball, hockey. I loved hockey, but I also remember the boxing games as well. You guys remember Fight Night?
yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
Everybody played Fight Night.
I still wish I could play it. A Fight Night round 2 might be the best one of the series, even though I just wish for a good boxing game anymore.
Yeah, certain things are hard to come by these days because
Yeah, unfortunately, but Madden was big back then in the early 2000s. Holy moly, where there's a lot of fun stuff you could play on that game.
Yeah,
You
and
could
then somehow 2K took over.
Yeah, no 2K. Yeah, they had 2K. Holy moly, there was a lot of NFL games. You got NFL 2K, NFL Blitz, NFL Fever. Oh my, NFL Street. I forgot about NFL Street. Do you guys ever play NFL Street?
Yeah.
No, but I played the basketball one.
Oh yeah, I remember the
That was
NBA.
fun too.
Yeah, there was a lot of.
hot sauce in it. Y'all remember that on
What was it called?
the one where it had like the street basketball players in it, like hot sauce and all that.
Oh, and one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
and
that
one.
was it.
I did play that. That was actually a pretty fun game. How about you? Oh, but yeah, no, there was a lot of football games back then, guys. I mean, football's king. I mean, let's just be real. But there was so many outside of just Madden, like 2K. And then to be honest with you, I'm surprised it's just now down to Madden. I'm surprised you don't see any more like 2K or even the Blitz. You don't see many of the different games outside of Madden anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Nope, just the 2K ones. They come out every year, and they just put a different year number in it. That's the only thing different about it. And they put a few changes, and that's about it. And a team change.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I like sports so much. I always thought it'd be cool to like be like an owner of like all different teams and try to like dominate in all the sports. Did you guys ever try to do that?
No, I haven't.
Oh yes, I just like some of the hockey. Oh geez, I forgot Need for Speed.
Yep.
Oh, that was fun.
Oh,
And Club.
That was the most popular racing game from its time.
it kind of felt like it kind of reminded me a little bit of Fast and Furious, almost like mixing like a B movie. Like you get all these actors in these clips, and then you go and race around and all that stuff. I was like, it kind of felt like you're in a movie.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, and they even have I wish they still have. I mean, they got the college football back, but remember they used to have college football, college basketball, and college baseball video games as well.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know that? Oh man, I
I
had
know
a
about
lot of
college
fun.
basketball and football. I didn't know about baseball.
Well, there was only 2 games that came into the series, only 2, but it was mainly football and basketball, which those were a lot of fun. You get to pick whatever college and help coach up a program or be a player yourself and go through 4 years of college.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that. See, you're showing me stuff that I didn't even know.
Yeah, man. I mean, of course, a lot of it is just because I had an older brother and he showed me all these cool sports games, so I got to play them as well.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, do you guys remember NBA Ballers? I forgot about that game.
I didn't play that one, but I had a lot of friends that would talk about playing it. But like I said, a lot of times when I played on the Xbox, I would go to my brother's house because my dad wasn't big on buying every single new console when it came out.
Yeah, no, that's fair because, like I said, we didn't come from rich backgrounds, so we kind of had to get what we can at the time. But
Yeah,
just cherish every memories of that. And oh, do you guys remember MX versus ATV Unleashed?
yeah, I remember that.
That game was a lot of fun. Oh, I forgot they put Mike Tyson heavyweight boxing in here. Talk about boxing games earlier. I forgot about that game.
I
It
never heard
wasn't.
of that one.
Yeah, it wasn't as good as Fight Night. I'll just put it that way.
So back then, a lot of people try to if one game was successful at it, then they would try to come out with their own version of it.
Oh shit!
inside
Oh
of
no! No!
Yeah, no, like no, and that's another thing too. That's I kind of mentioned earlier. Like now it's just like, I mean, I like playing football. Don't get me wrong, but remember back in the day, it wasn't just Madden. We had a whole bunch of different ones nowadays. But now, like what you said, Cheat, like we don't see many new ones come on anymore.
No, we don't. And it sucks because sometimes you need variety. Because a lot of times, if you got the same old people making the same thing, then they're not going to be willing to try something different or something new because they don't have the competition, so they don't have to.
Yeah, no, I agree on that 100%. But and it doesn't mean like, oh, like when we say competition, it's not like when we say competition, we're not just saying like, oh, someone tries to take out another studio. We're just saying someone brings something different in for people to try and see if they like this better than that one.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, I never understood, not to get off track here a little bit, but I never understood this whole console war or anything. I just liked video games.
It's about money and competition. That if one is successful, the other one's not. That means the other one's making more money than the other one. And that's what it all comes down to.
Sorry, I don't mean
Who
to laugh.
makes the most money?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. But why were you mean I do agree with what you said, Presto, but while you were saying that, I found an old game. It was basically about a kung fu movie called Kung Fu Chaos. That game was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That game I remember.
Was fighting. Remember Soul Calibur?
Oh yes, Soul Calibur.
And Soul Calibur had their own guest character, and I believe Xbox had Spawn.
Yeah, Xbox had Spawn. Link was GameCube, and I forget what PlayStation was.
Yeah, I don't remember what PlayStation had either.
Yeah, but no, Soul Calibur was definitely one of my favorite fighting games because I came from the Dreamcast. So that was a lot of fun to play as well.
Yeah.
Oh, do you guys remember Marvel Ultimate Alliance?
Yeah, I remember it.
That game was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I remember all of us sitting down, be like 4 of us trying to pass this one level and getting our butts kicked.
Well, as always, because one guy, we all tried to jump at once, but then there was always that one guy that was late.
Yeah.
Dude, that was pretty cool. But let me ask you this, Sheet. What do you think was the game that many people may not heard of, you thought was underrated?
For me, it'd have been Jade Empire.
Classic. How about you, Presto? Whoop. What do you think?
I think the NFL street ball game, like I think that one was really underrated.
Yeah, the NFL Street. No, that was pretty underrated. Pretty good. For me,
That
what
and that and that and there's another single player game. I don't remember what it was. It was pretty fun.
for
Not many
me,
people gave it a chance. But go ahead.
what were you trying to? What do you know the name of the game?
No, because it's something I bought at a yard sale and I played it. I can't remember. It was like I think it was like 12 or something.
Okay, for me was one of my favorite games that I thought was underrated and I wish more people would play. You guys remember Jet Set Radio Future?
I remember it.
No.
I remember some of the kids in my school used to play it. I never played it, but it was pretty popular.
Yeah, I just like the whole anime, cyberpunk look, and you get out in your rollerblades and graffiti and all that. I thought that was pretty clever concept.
We need more stuff like that nowadays, where they're not afraid to try to experiment with a game.
Well, do you think also too? Do you think games are just way too expensive nowadays for some people?
For sure.
Yeah. Well, so and some of them don't even be that good.
Unfortunately, heck, I
Don't
remember
even be
some.
that good. They hype them out and show you gameplay and video play of it looking good, and that's just the company IT guys just putting it on the screen because it's not really nobody actually playing the game. It's just them making a cinema out of the video game, and and it's disappointing.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. And also too, because I remember some of when we got new games back, and again, we got to go back to the early 2000s, but like a lot of new games when they came out, they'd be like $40.
Yeah.
Now it's like what, 80?
Yeah, the standard now is like 80. All you gotta do is look at GTA. Standard edition's like $70, and Ultimate Edition is 100.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot Guilty Gear. That was a cool little 2D fighting game.
I remember watching some of my friends play that one.
That's an underrated game series, I think. Not just on Xbox, but gaming series. Guilty Gear was pretty good.
I mean, it went pretty strong for a little while. If I remember right, they stopped at like PS3, Xbox 360, because I remember my buddy Vincent playing it on the PS3.
Yeah. And actually, speaking of GTA 3 made its appearance on the original Xbox.
Was it?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yep. It was, well, of course, this was later in the original life of the Xbox, but GTA 3, San Andreas, and Vice City all made an appearance on the original Xbox.
See, I didn't know that. Honestly, I thought they were all on just the PlayStation too. I had no idea.
Yeah, and of course, I was just going to say San Andreas came out on the PS2 first, though, didn't it?
Yeah.
That game, you were talking about controversial. That game was pretty controversial in a number of ways.
Honestly, you could say that about every single GTA. Every time a new one comes out, there's some sort of controversy over it.
Yeah, which to be fair, though, it was kind of expected considering its whole concept of it.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of just a lot of fun memories. Like back then, I mean, nowadays it's a little bit more difficult, but back then we used to have like those little slots there that have like you can go up to 4 controllers and like you and your buddies.
Remember Project Gotham Racing?
Oh yeah, I remember Project Gotham Racing. That was a long time ago. But you guys remember?
I was kind of disappointed when I played that, as I thought it was gonna be Batman infiltrating a racing thing. because of the name. Like, yeah, that's not what it is.
But yeah, man. And do you guys remember like back then? It used to be like 4 controllers on one Xbox, and all the friends could just sit together and just talk.
I
Yeah,
remember being able to play Perfect Dark on there.
What was the game?
Perfect Dark.
Oh yes, Perfect Dark. That was fun. Underrated game, I thought.
Yeah.
no Game of Thrones me that got me into it. The Xbox got me into Prince of Persia.
Oh, Prince of Persia. That was a great game.
Like,
I
I
love.
played it on Xbox first, and then I ended up playing it on a regular, like I think Game Boy Color or something like that, or Game Boy SP. You know, one of those.
Yeah.
All the Dead or Alive games.
Oh,
Dead
Dead
or
or
Alive.
Alive. Dude, you would talk about controversial, and honestly, I didn't even think it was that bad. But you guys remember the beach volleyball game that Dead or Alive did that came out in the original Xbox?
Yeah. Well, the reason why that was so controversial was because all of the girls, the proportions were extra jiggly, so people had to complain.
And which, to be honest with you, I
Which game
didn't.
were we talking about?
Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball, the original one.
Yeah, I remember that one. The controversy because of the girls in the
Yeah.
bikinis and stuff.
Actually, I remember I had a poster that my older brother gave me that had the chick with the purple hair. Now, I can see why it was controversial because on the poster it said "sex lives in video games." I remember that.
Who remember Conquer Reloaded?
Oh, jeez. Dude, you want to talk about a misunderstanding of a character. I remember most people, when they saw that, they thought, oh, wow, it's a cute little like chipmunk or squirrel. This could be kid friendly. Nope.
I have
Nope.
no idea what
Nowhere
you're
near
talking
kid
about.
friendly. It was nowhere near kid friendly.
Don't let the chipmunk fool you. It was definitely not for kids.
Well, what was it about?
Uh,
Because I've never heard of it.
Conquer, really?
Never heard of it.
It's basically a foul mouth. It's basically an adult cartoon, really. That's the best way I could describe Conquer.
Gotcha.
Oh, do you guys
Like
remember
Time Splitter?
Time
Ever play
Splitter?
Time Splitter?
Yeah, Time Splitter was a good one. I'm trying to think of one. Starts with an Oddworld. I forgot about Oddworld. Oh my goodness, those games were fun.
I
Yeah.
never
You
heard of
remember
that
Mech
either.
Assault?
Mech Assault, Mech Warrior.
Yep.
Oh yes, do you guys remember Stranger's Wrath? Oddworld Stranger's Wrath.
No, I've never played those games.
Ah, how about you,
See, a
Preston?
lot of games like back then, like a lot of them kind of went under the radar unless you happen to come across
That one
it
was
in
fun
like,
because
TV
I liked
games.
it that one because you was like a bounty hunter.
Yeah,
It was pretty fun.
yeah, and to go back to what you were saying, Sheet, a lot of those games, as good as they were, a lot of them did fly under the radar. Like the best example, and this is just my humble opinion, was Jade Empire. It was such a fun game, but it fell behind the fact that Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic was so popular, and then you got Fable. It kind of fell under people's radar.
Yeah. Only reason why I found out about it was because my older brother said, "Hey, try this game out," and I tried it and I liked it.
Yeah, no, man, and don't get me wrong, all those games were really good, so I can't really complain too much about it. But it does kind of suck that Jade Empire kind of not got as noticed as much. But I will say, I really also enjoyed some of the Mortal Kombat games that came out on there as well.
Oh yeah, that did that. It
But yeah, no, it's just this game was just so much. This gaming system was just so much fun, and it was the fact that it just came out of nowhere and it was like right away competing with like Nintendo.
No one expected it to do as well as it did. They thought it was gonna flop. Especially being, it's mostly about the size of the system. It is so bulky and look like a freaking big ass box.
I mean, that
it was
hasn't
ridiculous.
changed very much, if you're being completely honest.
Yeah, and the game, like the game that they show with it, like the game that they showed in the commercials or that system, people wasn't too sure about them. That's only because they picked the wrong game to advertise it with.
Yeah, and it definitely is. It was definitely kind of like one of those surprises for me personally, because like maybe that you're a little kid, so you didn't really see a lot of that stuff going on. But man, like from when it came out to where we are now, Xbox has certainly proven itself.
Yep. Yeah. I'm gonna have to jump off. My battery life is at 11%. 10%
Yeah,
now.
and it's just crazy to me, like how far video games have come since when we were playing as kids, and even before we were even born, and how far video games have come at that point.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to jump off because my battery life is at 10%.
Oh
Thanks
well.
for having me on your show.
Oh, thank you
and
for
looking forward to being on it again.
Well, hey man, God bless. Be safe. Thanks for coming on.
No problem. Anytime.
Yep. Bye, Presto. And then there were two.
Yeah.
But no, man, I hopefully pray Presto has a good rest of his day, and thanks for coming on, buddy. But Sheet, let's talk a little bit about some of the other stuff too, because most of the stuff that a lot of people, you talk about underrated, a lot of these game franchises got bigger as years went on. But remember Mafia?
Yeah.
It's
still going to this day.
Yeah, it made its debut on the original Xbox. I only remember Mafia 2, to be honest with you.
I think my brother had it, but I never played it because my brother had a lot of games when he was still alive.
Yeah, I mean, and talk about some more underrated games that don't get talked about enough. I remember King of Fighters, Knights of the
King of Fighters.
Yeah, those are a lot of fun. And I also thought, you ever heard of Knights of the Temple?
I want to say yes because it definitely sounds familiar.
It's basically you play as this Knights Templar that's trying to help protect the Holy Order. It was an underrated game, I thought.
It definitely sounds familiar, but there were so many games coming out back then. It's hard to keep up because like you'd have one game that come out and then you'd have like 4 more games that came out that were very similar but different in their own way.
Yeah, and not to mention, like, there was different genres that were coming out too. Like, you had your platformers, you had your shooters, first and third, you had your strategy, you had your sports. Like, there was an actual variety of things.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I think that's what's kind of lost in a lot of, modern games. But that's just, unfortunately. And actually, I mean, what do you think that is, Sheet?
Oh, sorry about that. To be honest, like a lot of people don't want to take risks anymore, which I understand why, because making a video game today requires a lot more money compared to how things were back then.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I sometimes wonder if a lot of that is even true. A lot of these franchises nowadays, they don't have like hit, games anymore. What do you think?
Well, it's like I said, a lot of it's because of cost, and some of it I do believe is because it's harder to make things. Like I'll give you an example, right? A lot of games today, you could see all their eyelashes, their pores in their face, whereas though back then, their face looked like a big old block or something,
Yeah.
So I mean, I do believe that some of it is like legit when it comes to the cost and pricing of it, and then other games it's like I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I totally get you on that, and I think I don't know. I feel like people are more worried about the looks of the game than actual fun gameplay of it as well.
True.
But I feel like the original Xbox certainly had a perfect blend of, oh wow, we got like perfect blend of like cool graphics. Because even going back and look at some of the original Xbox games, even back then, replaying them, the graphics don't look too bad for something that like early 2000s.
True. I remember saying, wow, these graphics look so great. It looks like the real thing. And when you look at what it's compared to now, and it's like, wow, how did I say that back then? But at the time, that was high tech and that was realistic for us.
No, it was, man, and heck, some of them looked awful lot like the person they were portraying. Like for example, Pierce Brosnan at the time was being James Bond, and they had a video game called James Bond Everything or Nothing that I really loved playing. It looked exactly like him.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely came a long way. And I mean, it's only going to get better for some games. We just got to wait and see how things go.
No, I agree with that. It's definitely something that I'm interested to see, where it's going to go, and hopefully, we can get back to where it was. Like maybe get like everyone come together and just play video games and have fun. I do wish though there could be more emphasis on showcasing other games as well, because I don't think many games companies showcase many games anymore like they used to.
Well, I think the big part of that, excuse me. I think the biggest part of that is E3. E3 was the big gaming thing to get all the different game developers together and allow a showcase. Now that we don't do E3, it's not what it used to be.
Yeah, no, I could definitely agree with that because I remember like back in the day, like we would talk about everything, but now they have their own like little directs, and it's just like, but even then, they don't even show a whole lot of stuff from their system too. Like I was watching, I don't know if it was Xbox or PlayStation, but it just they only showed like 4 games. I'm like,
Yeah, I think that was PlayStation.
yeah, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, um, all right, that's it. No indie games, no nothing.
Well, I know with the this year's Xbox, they showed a lot of different things, a lot of indies. The main event was, Gears of War, which, I was very happy to see that. E-Day looks very promising to me.
Well, let's talk a
Um,
little bit about Gears of War
okay.
or bit because it came out on it didn't come out on the original Xbox, but it certainly come out as one of the most popular gaming series of the Xbox.
Yeah, on the 360. It
Yeah, and
actually defined like the cover shooter mechanics, like that really put Gears of War on the map.
yeah, without question. And to me, and that's how you and I first met was well, obviously through high school, and you're the one that introduced me to Gears of War. And I definitely think it's a premier series for the Xbox.
Yeah, it's definitely an enjoyable game, except for multiplayer sometimes because you know how that can go.
Yeah, people like to cheat.
Yeah, but story mode has always been fun to me throughout all of the Gears of War. Some better than others, but the story is what always got me coming back.
Yeah, no, and I love the concept of Gears of War too, because just the whole idea of like people being mutated, but they're trying to find like you get to see different sides of of all the war and how war can be not necessarily the best thing. But I love, of course, Marcus is one of the best characters Xbox ever produced.
Yeah. Now we just gotta see how E-Day goes, which I already ordered my copy, so whenever you guys are ready, you'll be able to join us too, because I got a digital download, so I got the $100 edition.
Well, there you go. But I guess we'll finish up here. In your opinion, what are your hopes for the future when it comes to Xbox?
Just more quality games. There's no point in putting out a game if it sucks. So I would say more quality games because I feel like lately a lot of games have been released in an incomplete state. Like, it needed more time, but because they wanted to reach the deadline, they pushed it out when it wasn't truly ready.
And they got to do what, the day one patches?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's I definitely agree with that, and I'm kind of with you. I kind of like the idea because I like to play all kinds of games. Some days I'm like, oh, I'm in the mood for a sports game, or maybe do a little bit of adventure, and of course, you know me, I'm into a lot of the RPGs as well, like Digimon or a lot of the anime-based games, and of course, you got
Mhm.
some fighting games. So I'm with you. I'm hoping there's more, obviously, quality. You want to see better games come out, but also more games come out because it doesn't seem like there's many of them that do come out anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said we need more quality games. Like, there's no point in them pumping out a whole bunch of games if they all suck. But if you pump out at least a couple games here and there that are really good, that are memorable, then, people won't complain. Like, all right, think about it, right? The Last of Us on PlayStation. You know how many times that got a remake of a remake? But it was a memorable game and it was good. And that's why they got those remakes.
Yeah, and hopefully someday we can get back to that. And it's just, I don't know, hopefully we can get something come back and get more different variety in plays, and hopefully more important to get people playing together and just having fun like it's supposed to be.
I agree with you.
But with that being said, thank you so much, Sheet and also Presto, for coming on my show.
Not a problem, man.
Man, so I think, once again, I thank you so much for coming on, and to all of you watching, I love you all, and God bless. Be safe, everybody.